You got time to hear a story? I read a story one time, and this couple had a beautiful young baby girl, and at the age of 4, unfortunately, the young girl died. They kept all her toys and put it in an attic, and she had one particular doll, and she named it this one particular name, which I can't remember. They were very blessed and lucky to have another child, and it was a little girl, and they brought the toys down. The little girl picked up the doll, and she named it the exact name of the previous daughter. Do you know what I mean? Out of all the names in the world, why did she choose exactly the same name as her sister that she never knew? So yeah, there's something out there.
My spiritual journey started in childhood, where I knew that there was more to life than the physical existence. It's just a knowing, it's not something you can quantify. That kind of started with programs on television of ancient Egypt, which conjured just where do ancient cultures have the knowledge of an afterlife?
I don't know about if you believe in another life, because I do believe I've lived before. I've got this amazing connection with Egypt. I don't know why I've got a connection with Egypt, but every room in my house has a picture or an object that's Egyptian.
It's been said that a leap of faith, a blind leap of faith is blind. But to me, it's not blind, it's visionary. It's something that's bigger than what we are. And I've even thought about becoming an atheist, but I just haven't got that much faith to be an atheist, because to believe in nothing is harder than to believe in something. Having that faith, in my time of crisis, I don't feel alone. And that's the spiritual part of my faith. And I've had to search for that, and I've come back to Catholicism because, by accident really, the more I looked into the Catholic faith, the history, I thought, no, they've got an answer for it all. There's so many different types of Christian faiths, literally tens of thousands. They're popping up all over the place. But the Catholic faith, the one that I was brought up in, that I didn't really understand, that came straight from the very beginning, from Jesus Christ himself. He was the founder, according to everyone, he was the founder of the Catholic faith. And then I looked more and more into it about the sacraments, and it kind of made sense. And how we are as people, with prayer and worship, and that we're pretty much all the same, regardless of our outside appearance. We're all connected somehow.
I think as human beings, we all search for peace. Every single one of them. Every single organism is looking for peace. A worm won't be happy until it's in the cool, damp, dark earth, right? It won't be happy in the blazing sun. A thief won't be happy until he's got his loot. A policeman won't be happy until he caught the thief. So we're kind of pursuing happiness in different forms until we come to realize that that's not quite the way it works, because happiness is on the inside. If you replace the spirituality with the word life, then we come a little closer to the actual meaning of it. But the word spirituality has got the word spirit in it. So it's that. It's a term that's being used to point in the direction of that which resides within us, the part that is eternal within us, having a human experience. So we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Just my own sense of being able to communicate something from the heart, I think, is a real common denominator that might help to be able to bring people together. Because I think if your connection with what it is that you're offering is honest, and that can help others to feel something maybe a bit more deeply. So I've been lucky enough to travel around a little bit and have some experience of different cultures and their relationship to music, and can talk about one really special moment in time that I had while in Senegal. And I was working at a place which brought together people from 30 different African countries, and it was kind of a celebration of African music. I was invited to a ceremony, and we went into one of the local villages, and in the local village there was someone who had some kind of an illness, and so at this village musicians were there, the elders were there of the village, and other people from the village as well. And I was told that the idea was that they would create a ceremony, create music, create dance to try and help to bring forth the spirit that might be able to help heal the person that they had there. People who were there from the village, if they were moved to, they would begin to dance, and the music and the dance, it would take them away into like another kind of place. Sometimes I think of spirituality as less about finding organized things to believe in, and rather getting out of the way of the simplicity of what is already there, the beauty of what is already there, the intuitions that we have that we might be able to follow, that just feel right in us.
I feel like in our generation it's very easy to get lost in social media and kind of like lose yourself and lose who you are as a person. So to find kind of like my individuality, I think that's where I find my connection, especially to contemporary dance. Like when I'm improvising or I'm just moving and like feeling the music, that's when I feel like I can really like connect to kind of like my spiritual self.
Everybody needs time to de-stress, relax, find some form of connection with their bodies and find peace.
The pandemic clearly had a job to do. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. And the job was to collectively wake up people to ask questions, deeper questions. What's the purpose? What am I doing here? What is it? So in order for individuals to look deeper within, sometimes tragedy has to happen.
I think with COVID as well, everything kind of like, well, everything got flipped on its head. Everything we knew, we'd been stuck in a routine for so long. And I think being given that break, it made everybody kind of like take a step back and think, wait, what do I really want? And I think for a lot of people, it was kind of like happiness and like finding some kind of meaning, no matter what that is. I think especially on TikTok as well, there's a lot of like, kind of like fake things that go around as well. It will be like, this is how you manifest, this is how you do this is how you do that, how to read tarot cards. And I feel like people can get really wrapped up and lost in like taking all of their advice from like this one social media platform, when there's really a lot of like deeper research that needs to go into it, and you can't just like pick up a deck of tarot cards and like read what's on them. Like, you've got to really find out the meaning. And I think it's also become kind of like an aesthetic to, you know, collect crystals and be like spiritual. And I just think, I mean, I think that's okay, but I also think that there's a deeper meaning that a lot of people should look into more.
Being able to just go from being in a normal 9-to-5 job to moving into crystals, the change in me over the last year has been amazing. When I didn't work in crystals, before I didn't have this job, and I worked in a very typical lifestyle. So get up in the morning, drive to work, do your job, computer, go home, go out, see friends, and just repeat that cycle. It never occurred to my brain that that would be interesting. Once you get into it, like I have full-time for a whole year, and you're exposed to it, it's freaky. The difference in like a labradorite stone, I used to have them all over in that corner, and I had to move them because I had so many in that corner, people getting headaches, just because there's a lot of energy in that corner, because there's a lot of different pieces. And it would just be things like that that would make me go, oh, this is cool. And the people that I would meet, this is like a therapy room. It's not just selling crystals, it's about talking to people, discussing their feelings. There's a lot of emotional attachment, and people come here and you know, cry. You are like a counsellor without, you know, giving advice back. You're just trying to soothe them. It's always been very, 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 very popular for many different types of people. Very religious people, back thousands of years, it was just a way of life for some people. And a lot of celebrities very much live by all the crystals now. But for me, the only thing I've seen is just the diversity of crystals I've had to really expand them. I've noticed the age group has got a lot younger. Even the older generation now are starting to pick up on their kids getting into it. And that's what I've really noticed, is it's spreading. It's very contagious. I think the internet is having a huge positive effect on stones, but also a really negative effect, because people are starting to see that there's a market to buy stones. And there are becoming a lot of companies that are creating fake stones. And for me, that's quite devastating. But the internet is always going to be there. It's always going to take over the world, as it has done. There are various crystals that become trendy. Carnelian was one of them. That really took off. Labradorite, tourmaline, they do become quite trendy with certain things like TikTok and various other stuff. If this shop doesn't exist here in 5 years' time, just to know that people are becoming more into it and more evolved is It's important, I think, especially for the younger generation. It's tough out there for them nowadays.